Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Yes, I know. You guys want me to review the Asus EPC. I don't have one. And up until recently, I don't think I really knew anybody at Asus. Until I met this guy. He's in the chat room right now. Asus Engineer. He says, you'll get one soon. Can it be true? Really? Oh, I got a hookup. Maybe. Maybe not. But at least the Asus engineer's got a few tips on TN visas for Canadians. He says his real name, and I'm going to read it since it's going to be shared, is Jimmy from Asus. He says he used to watch me on Tech TV, but didn't think much of it. Then he started watching the videos. He said he's counted 400 so far. That's a lot. Gosh, we've done a lot, haven't we? I guess we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, too. I was reminded today by Freaky. That's his handle, Freaky. It's a long story. He says, watching the live stream from time to time and noticed that not every topic is about computers or software. He said, I'm not sure if you'd ever want to cover the topic, but he thought it'd be interesting. And the topic he wanted to talk about is having qualified Canadians working in the U.S. with a working visa, Canadian TN, specifically, which is a 1-year renewable work visa to work specifically for that one company in the U.S. Well, it's still kind of relevant. Yes, I know, everyone can do their own research on the net. However, I'd like to tell everyone my own experience and how I've gotten through with the proper steps I've taken. He says, I've seen some people get turned around and cried at the border just before their flight, hoping to land their new career or dream job in the States. There could be many reasons for being turned around, etc., etc., etc. So, I will post the full list on the corresponding blog post for this video. Tip number 1, view the NAFTA TN visa profession list before applying work in the U.S. Make sure the program you graduated from and the company that accepted you fits the appropriate fields. That's kind of a baseline, wouldn't you think? So you can check the link at grasmick.com, grasmick.com. Tip number 2, the main requirement for a TN visa is to have a university degree related to the profession on the NAFTA TN list. Without a degree, there's no chance of acquiring this visa at the U.S. border. I almost said the Vista, almost acquiring the Vista. Wouldn't that suck? Well, you're going to the U.S. Here's your Vista. Have fun. I think our tourism would just plummet at that point. Tip number 3. Let me try it again. Tip number 3. Another vital piece of information to provide to customs is an offer letter from the company that has just accepted you after an interview. Without an offer letter, you cannot prove to customs on the border that you've been accepted to work for the company in the States. It must contain your period of employment within the company, maximum up to 12 months at the date of hire, again, renewable, and the salary, along with the signature of the employer. Tip number 4, you must write a good letter about yourself to convince the customs at the border why you are suited for the job. They need a good reason why you are better than the others, so to speak. Tip number 5, giving a letter of reference from past employers related to the field you're applying for will definitely help make their decision of allowing you to get a TN. Tip number 6, this is the toughest part of getting a visa, which will make or break a decision allowing the applicant to be awarded the work visa. Chris, I've sat in the room for an hour and I tell you, I was sweating in there. Not so much that room was too warm, but the sweat broke out because I was too nervous, mostly because they were rude, which was expected. This is probably a bad sign, but it is not the best to show them your nervousness and remain calm. Otherwise, they may suspect that something isn't right, even when you have all your paperwork in hand that is valid. The questions I received, if I remember correctly, roughly 4 years ago, will focus on the type of work you'll be doing and screening you whether what I have written is accurate to what I say, in particular to the talent letter I wrote myself. That's about it. He says those are kind of the steps. He says he's not a writer but an engineer, and we love him for that. And he says he's gonna try to connect us with an EPC. I think it's not the triple EPC, it's the EPC. His signature is great though. It says the software business is binary. You're either a 1 or a 0. Well, Jimmy, I would say that you are a 1 in our book. Thank you so much for sending in this list. I know we've got a lot of Canadian viewers, and certainly many of them are wanting to have jobs and in the U.S. I mean, I've even thought about going to work for Tim Hortons in Canada. to help them make their coffee taste more like Pete's. Unfortunately, just didn't work out. Well, if you got any other tips for, anything, really, feel free to send them along. My email address is chris@pirillo.com, and you're welcome to swing by the chat room. We're typically talking tech. You never really know what's going to happen. I may be here, I may not be here, but the great news is that other people most certainly are here. That's the great thing about this live chat room, live video stream thing. I love doing it, and I love you too. I mean, in a strictly internationally platonic sense. If you're not uncomfortable with that statement, you're welcome to join us anytime, day or night, at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.